Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time it is where you are, but right now it is time for more insight. This is insight you can trust because there is more where it came from. I'm your host, Chris Moore. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Make sure you do all those things. You do it for free. There's no charge to subscribe. There's no charge to like something, but just help me grow this community. Help me build up something special. But speaking of something special, now listen, in my personal, as she would say, this is the best YouTuber on the platform to me. Like I said, in my personal, my guest today is a voice that you probably heard. She'll make you laugh through a Love Island recap. She's gonna make you side eye some reality TV moments, but she's gonna also catch you up on everything that's going on in this crazy thing that we call life. She's built a YouTube platform brick by brick. Shouts out to Franklin on Snowfall. She's doing her thing. She's not just watching the culture, but y'all, she is recapping culture for us. She's reacting to it and making sure we don't miss nothing. Whether it's the Diddy on trial, whether it's our favorite Islander or our least favorite Islander. Maybe we'll touch on that a little bit. Yeah. Or it could be some woman getting arrested for leaving her kids unattended in the hotel. She covers it all. But I want to thank my guest for coming to us. Our commentary queen, community builder. Y'all give it up for the one and only Jami. That's me. How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love that intro. Thank you so much. I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here. So happy to have the opportunity. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I am doing well. Just to give you like how I came across your page. I'm an OG Love Island fan. Okay. So I was watching it like season 4, and then I was like, nobody's talking about it. And then season 5, I was like, I was in. This is before season 6. Season 5 got me locked in. Yeah. And then I was like, let me see who talking about it. And you were one of the first pages that popped up, and I've been like glued in ever since. Now, I don't do the Housewives. I don't do all the other ones, but I still lock in when you talk about the other things that I really love and appreciate. So, icebreaker moment. Yes. What's one reality show moment that you wish you were on set for? Just to see it unfold in real life.
Dang, it's crazy. I feel like it's a few of them. I feel like the first one that came to mind is when on Love and Hip Hop New York, when Amina told Tara, I'm his wife and ain't nothing fake about that. And she slapped the ID down on the table. Yeah. And Amina, I feel like I wish I could have just been there for a little bit. And I feel like that's back when reality TV was like real. I feel like it was real. Now we're able to easily spot like things that are overly produced and stuff. Yep. But yeah, I think it was that moment. I wish I could have saw that in real life.
It's a cross between when New York got spat on and maybe when K. Michelle said, "Ooh, she's shaking the table."
Yes.
That's probably the one for me. Those probably are the two for me that I would have loved to just been on set to see that. Yeah. I'm from Atlanta, so Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has a dear place in my heart. I don't watch it no more just because, going to your point, overly produced. Yeah. But that's it for me. When did you get started? Like, how did you make your channel?
Okay. So I truly got started in 2015. I wanted to do YouTube for a very long time. I was so afraid of doing stuff by myself. And that's one of the best things that you really can do, which is count on yourself. So I started in 2015, and I think I was covering some Real Housewives moments. And I was really afraid, but something came over me and it was just like, you know what? Just F it. Just do it. And the best time to do it is when you don't have eyes on you. So you don't really have to hear a lot about what people got to say and the negativity and all of that. Just do it. Right. And that's when I got started in 2015 talking about like Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I think it could have been like some weed television shows that were going on at the time as well. And then I do remember some viral moments I had at that time where I talked about the unfortunate passing of Toya Johnson's brothers and Black China. Before YouTube started, saying, you can't show that, when Rob Kardashian aired out Black China and all the messages and text messages and photos and stuff that he sent, I had some of those viral moments around that time. So that's when I really got started. But I wasn't consistent. So I really don't, that's my original start date, but I don't really be counting it for real because I was working, and my son was in like junior high school at that time. So I was like really busy. So I didn't have time to really give the full dedication like I would have wanted. So I'd be like, should I really count that? Does that really count? We should start when it was consistent. So yeah,
You
but that
gotta
was the original
see.
start date.
I'm a church boy, so they always say don't despise humble beginnings. So you
Mm,
got to count
yes.
those early days, because
Yes.
if it wasn't for the early days, you wouldn't be who you are now.
Facts. 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 I have to say you are correct. You are
Let me
correct.
ask you this:
Mhm.
a couple of things that you talked about. You talked about, you didn't have to see negative comments.
Mhm.
How do you handle negative comments now?
I love that you asked that question because the part for me is the now, right?
Hmm.
Earlier in the year, I was always like in the comments, seeing what people are saying. I'll get to a place where my vibration is so low because they're not getting what it's not so much as disagreeing with me, it's
Yeah,
not getting what I'm saying. And then also making personal attacks and not keeping it on the subject matter at hand, right? So I would
yeah,
be like all into what they're saying and blocking left, right, 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 right. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, I told my husband, I think it was back in April, I said, babe, something just happened and there's a switch. And what I've decided to do is I'm no longer going to read the comments. So I don't know if you have, this is letting more people in the scenes if they are or are not a content creator, but there's like a YouTube app
hmm,
where you're able to go in and see your analytics. And I really wish it was widget based where you can put on there what you want to see on your dashboard,
that's
but
good.
they kind of make you see your comments, right? So I said I would kind of try to avoid the comments by not scrolling all the way down. But I say, you know what? I'm just going to delete the app. Deleting the studio app has been one of the best things that I could have done because I hate it for the people that love me and always want to get, my thoughts in the comments. I don't really read them. So if you go through some of my recent videos, you don't see me in the comments like that. So I no longer read them. I don't interact with them. Love Island is different, right? That is just I love that television show. It's just a different
I hate the
audience
devil.
because it's a new group of people every time versus people that have invested in a particular character for years, right?
Hmm.
So it's just a different vibe. So I may interact with those. Another way I used to try to avoid the comments was not reading them but hearting every single one, even if you don't agree, just hearting all the comments. And
That's good.
then that was one way I would handle the negative comments, but now
Mhm.
I don't even read what the people talking about, and it has been one of the best things ever.
And that's the thing, because so many people, like you said, a lot of things get lost in translation. You can't type tone, you can't type context, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the people they're seeing, and that's why I don't live in comment sections. I will drop comments and support,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't live in comment sections just because I think about y'all.
Yeah.
Like, there's no telling how many negative comments before y'all even recognize the positive
The
ones.
positive. Yep.
So kudos to y'all, to the YouTube creators who are doing this
Mm-hmm.
like all in. Kudos to y'all. Another thing I wanted to talk about is that you do this live.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you're doing this live,
Yep.
and then you're doing it by yourself.
Yes.
How did you get over, like, I know you just said F it, I'm gonna do it, but that's just recording. But now you're doing that live, and you're, like I said, you're doing it by yourself. So how do you build up that confidence to just stand firm in what you're saying and to be able to deliver?
You know what? I don't know, honestly. I feel like it's really the confidence is I said what I said,
I love that.
and that's just what it is. Like, I'm just getting on here to just share my thoughts with you guys. And
Hmm.
honestly, it's not as bad as it sounds because most people are going to be on your side with how you see things. There will
Yep.
be a few outliers in the comments. And I just feel like it's a matter of, do I feel like addressing it in this moment? No. Like, let them think what they're going to, like, whatever, um, they're gonna do what they do. But I will say now, I kind of also don't read my comments when I go live either. So when I'm live, I'll have like my screen set up and I'll have
Mhm.
the comments covered. So
That's
because
good.
especially if I'm trying to get out everything that I say, and I know some people come to your lives for you to give the point of, like, we just want to hear what you have to say. And I've watched channels where they're always picking up what folks have to say. Every few minutes, they're either reading a super chat, or every few minutes, they're reading the comments. And it's like, that's derailing you. I came here to hear what you have to say. I want a clear video. So I'll try to answer like comments and stuff towards the end. And by that time, it's not really a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
And if they are, I make a decision on whether I want to address that or not. It really depends. It depends on my mood. If I'm in the mood
Yeah.
to get with you, I'm gonna get with you. And if I'm not, then cool. But you do gotta have the energy though. Like, typically when I go live, it's from a subject matter that I'm excited about, right? Or a series of topics that I bring to
Yes.
you that I want to talk about. It has to be something I want to talk about. I'm not gonna go live about stuff that I don't really care to talk to y'all about. So I really have to automatically have something to say about it. Right. So I think that's really what it is. Just talking about what you want to talk about, but also being open to other people's perspective about it too
Mm-hmm.
when they are in the comments. But because I have tried to separate myself from them, I don't even see them really until the very end once I'm done. It's very rare.
We are protecting our peace in 2025.
Period.
Because
Period.
there's so much other stuff that's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
because this is something you're talking about, something that you're passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way that you should allow anybody to deter you from doing what you're passionate about. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about your channel. That's what I love
Thank you.
about your videos, is that your personality radiates. So I love that you
Really.
said, I don't take the time to do, the super chats and all that good stuff. Granted, you're appreciative of those super
Yes.
chats. You're appreciative of all the support and comments, but because you're providing so much substance,
Mm-hmm.
you have to get that stuff out.
Yes.
You reading that
1000%.
stuff off is going to derail you. Like, somebody else could do that
Mm-hmm.
because they may not have the substance and need somebody to feed them some stuff.
Yes.
That's why for me, I prefer doing interviews,
Mm-hmm.
because I know one-on-one, if I were to do what you do, let's say about Love Island,
Mm-hmm.
my video going to be about 5-10 minutes because I'm going to get these little points out and that's just going to be it.
Well, you know what? I think that's okay. There are a lot of people that want to get straight to the nitty gritty.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They want those quick. They don't have that type of time. So you
Mm-hmm.
gotta feed that audience as well. So people coming to
True.
me, they know, oh well, I know when I come to Jami finna really get me through this hour of lunch, or this hour of work, or whatever, this last hour of work. When they come to you, like, listen, I already seen the episode. I don't need you to recap what all happened. I just want what you think about this, and this. And I think that's great too. I feel like when people do that, it can very well help a channel grow. So that's another thing I've thought about doing myself at times. Like, but also I realized that it's so not me, because I have so much I want to say. I need to let you know why I feel this way and why it makes sense. I have to break the whole thing down. But also, those are great videos where you're like, listen, I watched the episode. These are my top 5 moments of last night's episode, and just run it 10 minutes in and out. Let's go.
You know what? That might be an idea.
No, that is an idea. That is.
I'm going to give you the credit for it though.
It is an idea. I think you should very well do it for sure.
And that's the thing. So this whole channel is basically sports and sports adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
And the sports adjacent part is that Love Island is pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm an OG fan. Another thing that you said, it just escaped me. It'll come back to me. Anyway, it'll come back to me. I do know with what you're doing, I do know that it is a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. So how do you keep the consistency? Is it so much part of your routine now that you don't have to worry about consistency?
It is. And starting out in YouTube originally, I never understood it. I never got it. I don't know how these people get on here every day and da, da, da. You got to have the mentality. Let me tell you, I'll be real blunt, honest, transparent with you. The money gonna make you get up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When you like, oh girl, you say, well, I mean, let me get up here and do this review. Okay. Let me get up here and talk about this real quick. Right. So that's,
all of a sudden I feel like talking about this.
Okay. You know what? Let me just, especially when I'm talking to my husband at times. And I it's so funny because I'll be like, I'm not talking about that. Me and him will talk about something for 30 minutes to an hour. And I'd be like, you know what? On second thought, I have too much to say about this topic. Let me get up and just talk about it. Right. But yeah, that, and now it is a part of my routine. It's a part of my routine. And it's so funny because I'm like, when did it just become like that? Well, I kind of know when it did after the pandemic for me. I don't know if you were going to ask me any additional questions about that, but when we talked about my starting point, that's where I felt like my starting point really was. It was like around that 2020 range, I believe. And I was so close to 1,000 subscribers. And I was at like 946 or something. And I wasn't going to like go forward or whatever. And of course, support of your significant other definitely helps. And he was like, no, just do it, do your thing. And I'm glad that he said that, because once I just started doing it, I think that next month I probably got like 4,000 subscribers. So I surpassed what I was expecting. And then I just started to work on that consistently. And then I used to work in commercial real estate as a program director or whatnot. And from that, I ended up being laid off at the end of that year, but they set me up great. You know what I'm saying? They set me up great as far as, being able to have that money. And the next year, I just focused on my channel and everything just popped off from that
Man,
moment. And I've never had to, by the grace of God, return back to that type of space where I
you
have
know
to
what's
get up in the
funny?
morning and work and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever think about it like this. And like I said, I'm a church boy. So, of course, I had these churchy moments.
Mm-hmm.
But just imagine if you were still working at that job full time, you wouldn't be able to have the time to commit as much as you do to your channel.
Right.
So the blessing was God said, hey, I need you to get up off that job
For sure.
and I
For
need you
sure.
to be doing this. So
And it was
God is
something I
amazing.
prayed for too. It was something I definitely prayed for. Um, I had been praying for a long time since when I started my channel for certain things that I wanted in my life to come forth. And I remember telling a old friend of mine that, like I just want to be able to do YouTube and audition for, movies and this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still working on one part of that. But aside from that, everything I wanted, like the timing was just perfect. It was perfect.
The timing is perfect. Let me stick with that for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to blame you, but
Okay.
the blame is on me. I don't get a lot of sleep these days.
Why not?
And the reason being,
Uh-huh.
so first of all, I have a 3-year-old.
Oh,
So
dang.
and we're on Central Time. So I get him to bed about 9:30 our time, 10:30 your time.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have to watch Love Island after I get him to sleep. And then I gotta watch the recap videos. There's 3 creators that I watch before
Okay.
I go to bed. So that's why I say I blame y'all, but I know the onus is on me.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I love when I'm watching your recaps, I'm seeing those same 2 other creators in your comments, like, yeah, girl, this, that, and the other, this
Yes.
person, that, and the other. And I love that so much. I think one of the best parts of being Black
Mm-hmm.
is our community,
Yes.
because when we together, we together.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to the Target boycott.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
On the Target
Not the Target boycott, but
boy.
just the community.
Yeah. I love it because, I was coming up at a time where I would see a lot of creators argue, fight, bicker. I don't know if you remember those moments. They'll get on their channel and they'll be thrashing each other and stuff. And I never wanted that for myself. I don't want to be in no YouTube drama. None.
No,
It's like, girl, whatever you think, whatever y'all got it. Y'all got it. I don't really want that to be attached to my
we
brand.
report the drama. We
Yes,
not the
we
drama.
not the drama. Hello? Um, y'all got it. I won't want that. But I love it. And I love that as I'm coming up in this space more consistently, that us creators can show people differently. Like I was a part of a
Yes.
panel with another YouTuber. And I don't mind shouting out YouTubers or anything, but Scotty by nature. And kind of branched off from that one. And we went on to do the Ooh Ladies First panel with
Mm-hmm.
Bondi, Niecy Dixon, Jay Lee. Jay Lee ended up making a decision to leave, but me, Niecy, and Bondi continued to keep it going. And it's no drama around it, right? Because you have some people that leave panels and they get to arguing and this and that, and it's like it really ain't got to be that deep, like. And that's what
At
the
all.
audience be wanting, though. They'll leave little notes and stuff in your comments when you're live because they want you to talk about it. They want to see the drama, but it's really all about what you choose to give to them. And
Exactly.
I love that you can have community without all of that, because everybody's just they're just trying to win. They
Trying to
just trying
win.
everybody just trying to get out here and do their thing. Want the same thing.
Community and trying to win leads is a perfect segue to what I want to talk about real quick.
Okay.
We ain't got to spend a lot of time on it. Today is the closing arguments of the Diddy trial. It's a lot has been going on.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get your thoughts on, do you think he's going to jail or not?
I do. I think that
Mm-hmm.
Diddy will be found guilty of something. The question is, how long will he be doing prison? My
Agreed.
personal opinion, I've always said from the very beginning that I did not see him doing more than 5 years, but that's just my personal. I've
Agreed.
never saw him doing more than 5 years. In addition, I don't know why I think this. I'm silly of me if I do, but I do feel like people can buy their way out of sentences sometimes. If you're a
For sure.
billionaire, like I feel like some of these people that may have gotten pardoned by presidents, I feel like they may have come with a stipend that we know nothing about. So I
Oh,
don't
for
see
sure.
him being there forever. If he, I mean, yeah, he may have done certain things that I do feel like he's guilty of, but he's not necessarily on trial for. If he didn't go to jail for that and he doesn't have an existing record, they might. I don't know. And again, this is federal. This is
It's
not
federal. Yep.
something different. So with it being federal, they might just be like, we're just gonna put you on probation forever. But I do feel like with probation, if they coming after you, the goal is for you to serve some time. Now the
For sure.
time he's been locked up for about a year or however long, I'm sure they're gonna credit him for that. And that may be enough to say, hey, he'll be out in 3 years. And that still
Exactly.
confirms that he didn't serve more than 5 years. So if they give him anything beyond 5, I'll be shocked. Do I ultimately care? I don't.
No.
I'm so sorry, people, but I don't really care what happens
Yeah.
with him. I'm so sorry. The way he got on that stage and kind of taunted her at the BET Awards. Oh, shout out to Cassie who helped me down during the dark times. Like, come on, y'all. Like, I think he's gonna be found guilty of something, and I do believe he's going to serve time. The question is how much time.
I think he's serving time for being a bad person.
Mm.
It's basically like OJ Simpson being sentenced for 33 years for something that normal would have been 5.
Yeah.
It's more of a, hey, we got you now kind of thing.
Mhm.
And because the Fed's not trying to be embarrassed, they definitely gonna give him, I say 5 as well.
Yeah.
If it's more, I'd be surprised. If it's less, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So either way, shouts out to Cassie for being so strong, being any day delivery, going up there and testifying about a traumatic experience.
Right.
Shouts out to her. Shouts out to any victims that have, persevered their way through this, who are still going through it, trying to figure their way out through it. So much love, much prayers to y'all. Get help from somewhere.
Absolutely. The fact that he's not taking the stand and they don't call any witnesses,
Yeah.
that kind of doesn't look good to me. But also it made me question when they were having issues with the charges of how they were trying to like charge or some changes they were trying to make, made me feel like, I don't know, maybe he might get off just a little piece. I don't know. But of course it's going to be up to the judge and how they want to sentence them. But we going to see. I'm ready for the verdict so bad in the sentencing.
That's the crazy thing. It could go either way, but it won't be surprising. I won't be surprised if he gets off. But I also won't be surprised if he gets 5 years. Like, it's been a weird trial. So, speaking of trials, this season of Love Island has been one to marvel at. And especially because you and I, we've been fans of the previous seasons of Love Island.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I'm actually rewatching the one with Hannah and Marco just so I can get some of that nostalgia.
Oh, wow. I actually did not like their season because I did not like Hannah and Marco. But what's crazy,
Really?
yes, I feel like Marco was one of the fakest guys ever. I really did. I couldn't stand him and I
don't
didn't
like Marco,
understand the
actually.
hype around Hannah. And can I say, I feel like in my personal, our Love Island USA audience has a fetish themselves for women that are racially ambiguous. I feel like they have a fetish for that. Like for Hannah to just come in the way that she did and they focused in so much on, she was like a bombshell. And I didn't think the connection between the two were even real. And they ended up winning the show. And they're engaged. So obviously people saw something I didn't see, but it's like nobody else on the show. Y'all didn't think, wasn't Bergie on that season? Bergie's about to get engaged. They're saying to the woman that was the bombshell or came in for him.
Yes.
So I'm like, yo, and then when we see it with Leah from last season, like granted, Justine won 1 year. And then we also had Zeta win, right?
Zeta. I love Zeta.
And then you had Hannah and Marco come in. Yes, you had what's her name, Cordell and Serena, but then the following went to Leah, a racially ambiguous girl, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful woman, she did get on my nerves on the show, but there were parts of Leah that I really liked, right? And then now we get this show. Huda has showed her entire,
Entire.
and now
literally
she
and
has,
figuratively.
Right. And if Ace did not come into the show with already having a large following, Huda would have had the largest following. So I feel
Yeah.
like as much as Jeremiah was like, oh, I like a Latino woman or, a exotic foreign woman, so does this audience. This
Yeah.
audience does as well. And had Serena not snapped on old boy the way that she did and actually had a real connection with Cordell, Leo would have won just off of that. She
Oh,
didn't really
absolutely.
have a authentic connection, and her and Miguel were slowly getting there, yes, but she would have won off that.
Just off the strip of that, for the record, I don't even like Leah and Miguel as a couple. They just don't look authentic to me.
Mm.
This looks for the looks.
Oh dang. And you could be right, especially with the fact that everybody is keeping their person. I think that Janae and Kenny are more realistic, especially the way she had him up there crying when she was talking about she was
Yes.
finna leave. So I think their connection was genuine. Cordell and Serena's, but if it wasn't for Cordell and Serena, they would have given it to Leah off of aesthetics.
And here's the thing, and I know we're talking about Love Island last season. To me, Janae is the star.
Mm,
I love her.
yeah.
Like her personality,
Yes.
her voice, the raspy voice. That could just be a me thing because before I got married, raspy was my thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would fall on my knees for a raspy girl. But I think Janae is the real star. I
Yeah.
really love what she brings to that group, to that season, to that dynamic.
Mhm.
And we're also seeing that type of person this season in Orlandria. A lot of people, there's an
Yeah.
Orlandria tribe. There's a
Yes.
lot of people supporting her.
I love her.
I saw your recap from last night.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Okay.
And I think we're on the same page. I'm not a fan of Nick and Orlandria because it feels forced.
It does.
Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, it's 1000% forced in more ways than one. Not because
Yes.
the audience was like, "Oh, we need to make this happen." So y'all made it happen for the audience because y'all kind of lost some viewers when that situation happens to Jeremiah and he was prematurely kicked off the island. So y'all concocted this to bring them back because had TJ been eliminated, had Amaya been eliminated, we wouldn't have had a recoupling and return back to the villa. They did this to save views, but if you ask me, I feel like Olandria is America's favorite, whereas
Yes.
Nick is producer's favorite. And they needed to save their people. And you know what? Let's feed into this thought of everybody in the TikTok saying Nick and Olandria, Nick and Olandria. And let me say, it's fake for me because people are like, oh, he chooses her for a challenge. And I see the connection, but he don't even know if she went to Soul Ties, y'all. As much as he's so tuned in with her and he's in the villa, he's asking her, like, have you been to Soul? You don't know if she's been to Soul Ties before? Like, it was really, really weird. It definitely gives force, and people need to pay attention to the fact that Nick is all in with any woman he's coupled up with. Anyone, like he's all like googly eyed over every single one of them. So who's to say when Sierra comes back in that he won't leave Olandria hanging and go and be off into Sierra? But I also think that Nick is wise enough to know when America made their decision, the first girl to be called was
Sure.
Olandria. So I feel like he's going to play it strategically. Unfortunately, as much as I adore Olandria, I will not be voting for her should she get with
At
Nick.
all.
So I'll let Nick Olandria, team Nick Olandria, handle that. And prayerfully my girl wins. But it's one thing to win, and it's another thing to pull the envelope that has the money in it. And she pulls the one with the money in it and makes the executive decision to say she will not be sharing her money. Now, I'm not opposed to them making it to the finals, whatever, because Corey and Olivia did the same thing in season 3 when they won. Mm-hmm. They had a friendship couple after they kicked Cachet off. They had to kick Cachet off because Cachet would have won. Whoever Cachet was going to end up being, Cachet was going to win that show. Okay. So they had to kick my girl off. And then Corey and Olivia ended up winning. And that was like some fugazi. They tried to play it out like they were really interested in each other. Like, they weren't. But I hope if Olandria wins, do not share your money with that man. But I can't comfortably give you my vote at the very end, knowing how fake Nick is. A man Nick that Diddy bobs in every woman's face is fake as fuck. To me,
Nick is shisty.
Very much so.
He's very conniving.
Very.
I know you wanted to give Olandria the updates of what's going on, but the way you did it was very dirty macking. Because now you see that you're at this candlelight table. Now you're like, yeah, I ain't gonna hold you, but Taylor got a nice emotional and physical connection going on over there. You could have easily just said, hey, he's got a connection, but I don't fool with this a lot. because
Mm.
all they do is dry snitch. And if
Mm.
you work in corporate America, you already know
Ooh.
the vibes. That's all
1,000.
they do is
That's
dry
all they
snitch.
do.
So that's basically what he did in this situation. He was dry snitching on your supposed boy, who's now y'all see each other. You holding them up, spinning them around like this
Yep.
your girl.
Yep. Yep. And I can't wait until Taylor has his Jeremiah moment when it comes to Nick. Seeing
Oh,
the
for sure.
betrayal. Because that's your bestie. Okay.
And the crazy thing is, this season of The Guys is the real life version of Mean Girls.
For sure. For sure. And I hate it so much. And that's why I have to say production is in on the bullshit, period. Because for y'all to specifically save Nick and allow Jeremiah to leave the villa knowing that he was wrong, the way that Huda treated him, not cool at all. And she gets to get further chances and all of that. Like, I hate it so much. She's probably gonna be here all the way to the end.
For
But
sure.
you know, it is what it is. I'm ready for Taylor to find out Nick ain't your friend. That's Ace's best friend. And don't you
And I
ever
think,
forget it.
for sure. And I think the funny thing, before I go on, they always say, who's the messiest person you know and why is it a straight man?
Mm-hmm.
I love this kind of mess. This guy, like, my wife didn't have to put me on the Love Island.
Mm-hmm.
I got on Love Island myself because I found it like in the summer where nothing, of course, was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, I'm locked in.
Yeah.
So even this season, you and I think we're on the same page. This season is a wash. I think we're kind of over it. We're just watching it now because we've been so invested into the show.
Yes.
But then there are elements that we do want to see play out.
Correct.
Give me the segment or the portion of the season that you're most looking forward to, whether it's movie night, the tweet night, or the final night.
I feel like it would be tweets for me. And second would probably be the final nights. Really, they run it neck and neck. Movie night is not as entertaining. And the way they're switching things up so much, I don't even know if we're going to get a movie night because the players that we need movie night with are not there. Yeah. They're just not there. The strongest connections I feel they had going into Casa Amor would be Taylor and Olandria and Nick and Sierra because they were all together for the longest because I think Sierra may have come in on like night 3 or something like that. So I mean, they may be the strongest, but it doesn't mean that they're the realest, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, true. Olandria and Taylor are the strongest because of the length, but not actual depth. Like, they don't really have nothing. And her saying my man is crazy. Like, I'm so sick of her saying that. But anyway.
What are you... He ain't never said you his woman or his girl.
Never. The way... Now, see, that would be interesting on movie night only if Olandria is not over Taylor. And then she gets to see how he shows up with Clark before she even got in the villa. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, who cares, bro? Like, I don't really like the cast that is there. I don't think they did a good job. And let me also say this. Another thing that I don't like, and I'm going to try my best not to be in tune with, I don't think I want to know about people before they get on the show. I don't think I want to really know their background because I think that also affects the show. Another thing I don't want, I understand we've had influencers on the show before or whatever, but I do not want influencers that have over 20,000 followers. Maybe even 30,000 followers. I don't like Ace should not have been on the show because I feel like that's a disadvantage for people that when you are in a game show, right? They're doing it for viewership, but think about how unfair it is to people that don't have that same following. People try to say Cordell won because his brother was Odell, and that's not it. We actually liked Cordell, but that's a disadvantage if Ace has like 300,000 followers and then they all are a part of this Love Island app and they keep voting for him and cheating and like no. I don't like that. Yeah. So I like also when you have people that are never been on reality TV, so they're new, they're raw. You're going to get natural reactions from people. And I think they should keep that in mind as they move forward. You guys are here to also kind of make stars, and I already have stars and enhance who they are, like as far as already having a following. I don't like that. But
I don't think they were able to benefit from a steady climb. Love Island USA had an overnight success. Like after years of putting in work, of course you want to get to the mountaintop.
Right.
But they were just like slowly building, but they didn't understand that when it hit this level, everything that plays a part into it. So it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to Sierra and Olandria interaction because now you just pop up, but now you not only are you popping up with the dude I got a connection with. But on the flip
Yeah.
side, Sierra, you are connecting with somebody else.
Right.
But that connection ain't as strong because you held back on that kiss. You said, nah,
Mm-hmm.
my mind's all over the place. So I'm interested to see what happens with them
Yeah.
because I feel like the girl group is about to get split up.
I don't know. I don't know. It might. It might. It depends. One thing I want to say is I'm hoping that they do not send a mess. You know how like last year they sent like a video over like, oh, see what this person is doing in the villa. I don't want the
Yeah.
ladies to know Olandria and Nick are there until they get back to the villa.
Yes.
Another thing is it could be a bit messy, but I feel like Olandria is such a respectful person. She doesn't move shady at all because that is how her integrity is set up. That I am afraid that she's going to allow old girl to have her man. But it's really going to be on Nick to make the decision on how
Nick's
he
gotta make a
chooses to
decision.
move.
Yep.
So Nick gonna have to let us know like what's what. Like, are you gonna choose Olandria or are you gonna choose Sierra? It's gonna be a very difficult situation. And what I fear for Olandria is the fact that when she come, I think he gonna end up sending her home. So all of this theatrics that we did to keep her here, she's gonna go home. And the reason I also say this is because, yeah, he kissed her for challenges, right? But you know how like no disrespect to the white people watching, but there are a lot of white people that have children that don't want their kids to be with a person outside of their race. So
For
him
sure.
kissing her in challenges, for the most part, for me, that's kind of the vibe that it was given.
Yeah.
I only have access to this forbidden fruit when we're in challenges, right? Not really trying to get to know her beyond friendship outside of that. And then when he got partnered up with Clark, after
Yeah.
being forced to be with her, he says she's really not my type. She's not what I usually go to. But every
That's the part
white
I need.
woman that came in there that's been interested in him, he has damn near been slobbing at the mouth to get to know. And I'm
Yep.
like, y'all don't see that this is fake as hell? Yes, he is. You just like Jeremiah made fetishize, Latino women, exotic women. Possible thing could be for Nick, right? But never wanting a actual relationship with Olandria for real.
It's the thought of you that I
Yes.
like, not
Yes.
so much you.
You.
Yeah.
Even though he compliments her, tells her she beautiful and all this and that, like Nick is fake. And we've seen enough of that to know that the connection between them is not genuine, but it may be good enough to keep each other in the game until the end.
Yeah. Get Taylor off my screen. I'm tired of seeing them.
For sure.
Who are your least favorite characters on Love Island?
Nick would be my least favorite guy on the show. I thought it was Austin, but it's really Nick. And my least favorite girl on the show is Huda.
Yeah.
And I think her Huda rats make it worse for her.
Huda rats. I love that.
Yeah, I'm not really featuring her for real.
I agree. So Love Island USA is going to close out. Very interesting. I know as of tonight, Casa Amor is closed. Can't wait to see your reactions and everything going forward about the rest of the season. I'm gonna definitely connect back with you at the end of the season just to get your thoughts.
Okay.
Before we close out, I have a segment called 3 on 3.
Okay.
These are 3 questions. You give me your 3 answers. And I listen. I don't judge. I make assessments, but I don't judge. The first question, your top 3 favorite reality stars of all time.
Top 3 favorites of all time? I'll throw New York in there. She has some iconic moments that we'll always remember. As of now, I say Candace Dillard, Real Housewives of Potomac. Love Candace. And then the last but not least, and really probably top for me, she's no longer a reality star, but I would say it would be Cardi B. She once was a reality star. She had some great moments when she was on there, and Miss Ma'am was able to flip it and become something bigger than what she is. So
the biggest rap star on Love and Hip Hop history.
Okay. Period. So yeah. And you know what? I'm sorry. I have to snatch that back from New York. I'm sorry. Although she's iconic, I have to give that to K. Michelle, actually. It would be K. Michelle, Candace Dillard, and Cardi B. Those are my top 3.
I love K. Michelle. She is good reality TV.
For sure.
She has to know how good she is, but just doesn't want to do it.
Has to know. Yeah. I think she wants to have she's in a different era now.
Yeah. She's in her soft girl era, low key.
Yeah.
Give me your top 3 favorite reality shows.
Definitely gonna say Love Island USA. Absolutely love that. I would say Love and Hip Hop Hollywood when it was around
Okay.
would be one. And then I would probably give it to, I'll just say, I guess Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yeah. Potomac, like from what I understand, has become like the creme de la creme of the Real Housewives show. Like Atlanta was number one, but
Hmm.
that's like falling off clearly because they can't keep good characters.
Right.
So Potomac is that girl, huh?
So lack of me thinking of a better location, a better reality show. I would say yeah.
Mhm.
Because for the most part the faces have all been familiar, but we don't know
Mhm.
how this season is going to go since we don't have as many OGs. It seems like it may be taking a little bit of a turn as Real Housewives of Atlanta specifically. So because we don't have a lot of old faces, we shall see what the dynamic is going to be and if they still going to remain at the top. But yeah.
Do you watch any of the other Love Islands like UK, Australia?
I haven't. I've watched one season, and that was the season that Ekin Sue and Davide were
Yeah,
on the show. But other than that, I can't because I want to watch it when it's live, and unfortunately, I can't. I have to watch it when it's like episodes behind, and then I'm binging, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle to keep up with at that point. So
legit. I
yeah.
tried South Africa. I don't know. This is something about Love Island USA that just hit different.
It does. I also think the language barrier isn't there so much because I feel like watching UK sometimes I know they have an accent and when they talk too fast, I'm like, huh? And then of course their different slang that they use, I don't necessarily catch on to. So I think that may have something to do with it as well. But
We're
yeah.
so Americanized.
Okay.
um, in the last question,
Yes.
it's gonna be kind of a trick question.
Hmm.
You're in a place where there's a lot of food, a lot of good food. So I need to get three of your favorite restaurants. And
Oh,
for the record, everyone, this is Atlanta restaurants.
child, giving greater Atlanta high key because I hate to go into the city for real, for real. Um,
Legit.
I will say that there is this place in Chattahoochee Works, and I cannot think of the name of it. I really hate it, but Chattahoochee Works has a lot of different variety. It's like a food hall, so I feel like you
Okay.
can't go wrong at all going to that food hall. I love hibachi, so I will say for
Ooh.
me, a spot called Miyako. I think that's how you say it. It's like over in the Smyrna area, kind of. I would
Let me write that one down because my wife loves
hibachi.
like
Let me tell you,
hibachi, Chinese, Japanese, Oriental. She love all that stuff. What's
yes.
this called again?
Miyako, Miyako, I do believe. I think it's
Okay.
like hibachi and sushi or something. It's so good. It's so good. And then I love like I'm a Mexican girl. I love Mexican food down. So
Mhm.
I would say La Paria
Oh yeah,
because they gonna get you right every time. Every time.
Cinco de Mayo, the one on Ohio Mill, they shut it down. I don't even know if the one on Ohio Mill is still open.
Oh, I don't know.
They probably closed that one.
That's
But
crazy.
between that one and 10
Tin
Libby's,
Liz
10 Canteen,
Tin Lizzie.
10 Lizzie's, that's the one.
Yeah.
I
I
love
feel
them
like
too.
that
But
was
I'm
more
sorry.
of like an American Mexican versus like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
authentic Mexican. I feel like La Padilla gives you that. I'm like, oh baby,
You
they
even
be
throw the
so
accent on there. That's
fresh.
how you know it's real.
Look, I try to do a little something.
Listen,
But
because
yeah.
me, I'd be like, La Parilla. See, I'm from Southwest Atlanta. It come out every once in a while. It come out every once in a while. But I'll take those restaurants. I'm definitely keeping the hibachi one. I'm definitely keeping that one close to the chest.
Yeah.
So the next time I go to the A, I can take my wife somewhere special.
Now there is a new Mexican restaurant that I'll send you because I was thinking about going there for my birthday, but it's like I think in the Dunwoody area though. I think it's
I
like
love
yeah, I
Dunwoody.
think it's over there. And when I tell you it gives upscale and the food looks good, I'm like, yeah, I think I may be going there. It looks
Dunwoody
good.
low key has some dope spots.
I believe that.
Like, how long have you been in that area?
I've been in this area for really since I've been in Georgia. What I'm talking about? Yeah, since 2012.
2012? Oh
Hmm.
man, I left in 2016.
Okay,
Yeah, so I get there. I need to get there more often because I be getting homesick low key.
I understand.
Um,
I
so I
understand.
definitely need to make sure I get my way back down there. I haven't been down there since September of last year,
Okay.
and it's only a 6 hour drive. What am I doing?
Oh, that's not so
Um,
bad.
Yeah, it ain't bad at all. Coming in through 20. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last question. I'm gonna call this "Give Me More."
Okay.
What's one thing you want more of in this season in your life?
One thing?
Or you got multiple.
I feel like I do. I feel like it's so much more that I want.
Let's go for it. Hey, we ain't
I
got
just
to.
want. I feel like
We serve a limitless God.
right. I feel like the ultimate thing is just more success.
Yeah,
More success, you know. With success, I will hope it comes more money. Okay. Um,
absolutely.
more notoriety, I
Yeah,
would say. Um, yeah. It's a lot that I'm thinking about in my head. So I'll just say those few things and just yeah, just more intentional, just being more
mhm.
intentional about things. And yeah, really it's just more enhancement of everything that I'm already doing. Because
That's a
with
beautiful
more
way to say it.
enhancement of everything that I'm already doing, success is bound to come with that. More
Absolutely.
consistency, more all of those things that got me to where I am, more of that. Because then that's gonna get me to where I want to go. Hmm.
Jami, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm glad that I even shot you a message to ask you to be a part of this.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've sent a lot of emails out. I've sent a lot of messages out.
Uh-huh.
And it's one thing to be like prepared for the no,
Mm-hmm.
but it's another thing to be like, dang, they ain't even respond back. I
Yeah.
ain't even get a no. It's
Uh-huh.
just ghosted before they even appeared.
Yep.
So I want to thank you. I appreciate your time. I
Of
appreciate you
course.
jumping on. Um, my encouragement for you:
Mm-hmm.
keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank
You are
you.
going to get that notoriety. You are going to get that success. You are going to get that more money.
Thank you.
You're going to get those more lavish trips with your husband. Y'all are
Okay.
going to hey, we living happily ever after over here.
Yes.
And I want to wish that on you. I want to speak that over your life.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I
much
receive.
again. Like I said, I love your channel. I
Thank you.
love the commentary. Keep being you. Keep being authentically you. You're making, if ain't nobody else a fan, I'm a fan.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you.
And make sure y'all follow Jami. That's me. Matter of fact, Jami, can you give them your social handles and
Yes.
where they can find you and keep up with you?
Jami, that's me on everything. Just type that in. You're gonna find me on the Twitter, honey, on the Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram. Jami, that's me. I try to keep it all simple and the same across the board. So yeah.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm real Chris Moore everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And there was one more thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Oh, Jami is so close to 100,000 subs, y'all. Smash the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Send it to your family. Send it to your friends. Yeah, I know y'all in more than one group chat. Send it to your whole group chat.
Right.
Because everybody wanted to know something about what's going on in this TV world, in this reality TV world. Who better than Jami to tell you what's going on and give her wonderful recaps and commentary? So make sure y'all do that for me. Make sure y'all follow, subscribe, like, share, all that thing for more insight as well. Thank you, Jami, again. And we will look forward to the end of this season and we'll do a recap then. All right.
All right.
All right.